Hey guys, how's it going? We're back for another weekly Q&A and I'm so happy to be here. It's so nice to be home and enjoying the beautiful weather back at the house right now. It's been so nice to be home and it's 70 degrees, which is so crazy. And it's been beautiful, beautiful weather. We are very, very lucky right now. So let's get into it. I don't think I have any announcements. None that I can think of. Anyways, last week's videos were a secret surprise coming soon. How does it feel to have your vision come to life? So last week's Q&A, and that's the one that Kate helped me with. And then this Peony will change your garden forever. The next video was flowers that hummingbirds actually love. Don't make this mistake. The key to Dahlia blooms, and no more mud, metal edging, gravel walkway, and I can't remember what else because it's cut off. So it was a pretty good week last week. Some of those videos were pre-filmed before I had gone up to the Northwest Flower and Garden Show. The Hummingbird video was, the Dahlia video was, and then when I came back, we filmed the Tree Peony and the last video you guys saw on Friday. So it was a very mellow week, which was so needed after I came back from that show. It was such a fun show. And if you're able to make it, I highly recommend going. It was a show that I've never seen anything like it before. I don't know of any other show that's like that one. That one is a very, very special show. And there's so much time and energy and like thought that goes into that. It's a one of its own show. It's a one of a kind. It's spectacular. So if you're able to make it to the Northwest Flower and Garden Show, I highly recommend it. So let's get into the first video. The first video that we did was it was last week's Q&A, the one that Kate helped me with. And it was so fun, but I feel like I missed so many questions from the week because we were just trying to like get through it. Being up on this like perch was interesting. And filming a video live was kind of wild, or like filming it with like people around us was definitely an experience. The amount of people that like stopped and took photos of us up there. I mean, I'm sure they were taking photos of her garden or whatever, but there were people that were like pulling out their phones and they were like snapping photos of us, which was really funny. And we were trying to just like focus on the camera and each other instead of like continuing to like look around and like feel nervous, because we were definitely a little nervous being up there filming, but it was a lot of fun. First question on that video is from Lori, and she had said, does Kate have her own YouTube channel? She does. She is at Hello Garden, and it was in the description of that video, but I will put it in the description of this video also. The next question on that video is from Charlene, and she had said, oh my gosh, what a great show. I could listen to you and Kate all day. Thank you for giving so much inspiration. Love the new design in your yard and can't wait to see what's next. Question, what are your favorite trees to plant in containers? I have a large patio area to add to. Thanks in advance. My favorite ones that we've got in containers are the Kilmarnock willow. So it's like a weeping willow. It's beautiful. I've got a magnolia called Ricky, and that one is so beautiful. It's just getting ready to bloom. It's starting to bud up, so I'm very excited about that. And then anything that stays less than 10 feet, I try to put it in a container. Just anything, even shrubs, if you want something. Like I feel like the hopseed bush that I've got, that one does get quite large, but that would be really good in containers for a couple years. Anything that doesn't get absolutely massive, so any type of dwarf tree would be perfect to grow in a container. But you do need to make sure that you get a large enough container and that you are also filling your container from top to bottom with soil, or bottom to top with soil. Don't be one of those people who fills it up with plastic containers at the very bottom to save a few bucks on soil. It's so not worth it. A tree is going to use all of the soil that's in that container. So make sure you're filling all of it up with soil. I personally fill every single container up with soil. I don't ever do the whole method of putting plastic at the bottom or putting rocks at the bottom to save, $6, $7 worth of dirt. It's just not worth it. The next question on that video is from Sandy, and she had said, how is your sister doing? And if you missed that, my sister was diagnosed with cancer, and we came to YouTube and we asked you guys for donations and for help, and you guys pulled through. It was absolutely amazing to see what all of you guys had done, so thank you guys for that. She is doing 100% better now. They got all of the cancer out. They did a full hysterectomy, and her eggs were saved, her hysterectomy went well. She had to take a couple extra weeks off of work because she was still in a lot of pain after, but she's back to work now full time and full recovered. So she'll just be going in for checkups here and there now. So thank you guys for everything that you guys did for that. That was absolutely amazing. And the last question is more of a comment, and it is from Sandy, and she had said, hi Robbie, this was a fun Q&A with Kate. You're such a tease. I'm looking forward to hearing what you have planned that you won't tell us about yet. Thank you so much for sharing. And there was a lot of you this last week that had brought up, because I'd given a little teaser about like there's some things that are coming, some things that are changing, and it's not 100% set in stone yet. And so I don't want to put it out into the universe and then it not happen, because that's my luck, is that I put it out there and then it doesn't happen. So I'm trying to control myself, and I have zero control, just so you guys know. I have very, very little control. I don't do well with secrets at all, and so keeping this a secret is hard, and I'm not doing it because I have to keep it a secret. I'm doing it because I know if I put it out there, then it doesn't happen, and that's what happens to me. So I'm excited to share it with you guys when it comes to fruition. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be very, very exciting. And maybe if you've already guessed it. The next video that we did was this peony will change your garden forever. And that was when we planted the tree peony, and you guys, I cannot wait to see that thing bloom in my garden. And so many of you guys in Zone 9 have even said that you've got them and you're successful with them. You just have to find a little microclimate in your garden. And so I'm very, very excited to hear some other people in Zone 9 saying that they have success with tree peonies. The first question on that video is from Karen, and she had said, "You planted too close to the fence, didn't you?" I did not. So it gets about 5 feet wide and 5 feet tall. And so what that means is I don't need to give it 5 feet from the fence. What that means is I need to give it about 2.5 feet. And that is at maturity. And I don't like to listen to that line. So mine's actually probably planted about 2.5 feet from the fence. And I usually don't listen to those lines because I have a lemon cypress that I planted and I gave it the proper spacing from the fence. And it's going to take it another 5 years before it even starts touching the fence. And so now there's this huge gap behind it, and it just looks weird. It looks out of place. And so with the size that things get, I try to fudge them just a little bit. I do plant things closer to the fence. It's the back of the plant. Nobody's going to see the back of the plant. I'm not looking for airflow. I'm not looking to walk behind the back of the plants. So when I plant something close to the fence, it's getting about the recommended space that it does need, just maybe a little bit less. And yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. So no, that's probably one of the only plants that I planted that is it's got proper space to the fence. So yeah, it's got 2.5 feet. And the next question on that video is from Kathy, and she had said, "Very great gift. Claudia featured them on her video, and I went to look at the site. Yes, it's expensive, but no one answered my question. Can it be planted in a big pot?" Personally, I don't know that. I would, if you're gonna buy from Peony's Envy, I'm sure you could email them. They've got their email on their website, and you could just ask them directly. I'm so new to peonies, and I've only ever grown them in the ground. I don't see why you couldn't grow them in a pot, but it would need to be a very large container because it does get about 5 feet tall and wide. So I would probably say yes, but if you're going to spend that money on it, I wouldn't risk just doing it blindly. I would definitely either do some like Google research or ask the peony queen herself if she knows, because I'm sure she's got an answer on that one. The next question on that video is from Carla, and she had said, "So happy for you, Robbie, a tree peony. How exciting. And why did she gift you with that? Because you are genuinely a nice person who is authentic and who brings so much joy to others. You deserve it. Can't wait to watch its progress." I think she gifted it to me because her and I ended up chatting for a very long time off camera, and we were talking about YouTube and videos, and she's over on Instagram also, and she wants to start getting into doing more content stuff. And so I just kind of gave her some ideas, and then I went back the next day to go buy the peony, and she's like, "Here, have it, it's yours." I also think that my video had gone live when I went back to go buy it, and at the time that it had gone live, I guess there had already been a ton of people that showed up to the booth to buy peonies, and you guys had said that you had seen my video, and so you went to her and told her that you saw my video, bought the peonies, and I guess a bunch of people bought them online also, just in a very short window of time from my video going live to me going back to her booth. So she gave me that one, and then she also invited me to an event that she hosts on her farm, and I'm trying to figure out if some other dates work with it. And so I'm trying to see if I can go to this event that she hosts. It's she cooks like a dinner on her farm, all from scratch, and you get to go tour her peony farm, and her peony farm looks like it's to die for. So she's invited me to that, and I would really like to go to it. I think on her website she's already released tickets for it. So if you want to check that out, I will put her website in the description down below. The next question on that video is from Pamela, and she had said, how do you know if you have microclimates in your garden? So every garden is going to have microclimates in their garden, and that's basically your areas where, okay, it stays a little bit cooler. I know under this tree it stays a little bit cooler over here, and in this section water doesn't drain so fast, so this section stays a little bit more wet. Or it's your area that is full sun all day long. Those are your microclimates. So it's your full sun, your shade, your partial shade, your areas like this section right here. Wind just blows through this one section here, so I know that this is a very windy area right here. So it's things like that. You just kind of like look and you start taking notes of, okay, what happens in this specific area in my garden. So where I planted that tree peony is somewhere that it gets some shade and it stays a little bit cooler, and so I don't have to worry about full sun and it like scorching its leaves or killing it. So just walking around your garden multiple times a day and seeing what's happening in specific areas is going to let you know if you have microclimates and what those microclimates are. I will also say that, so I planted the Arabian jasmine that we have, and Arabian jasmine does not like frost at all. They're not cold hardy at all. And I have one that I planted in the landscape, and it died. We had a night that got down to 29 degrees, and so it died. I didn't cover it. I totally forgot about it. And then we have the ones in our driveway that are along a fence. They're in the espalier, and those ones are all totally alive. They're on the same property, but what happened is our driveway stays a little bit more warm, and so none of those plants died, and they're up against a fence, and the fences and walls, they retain a little bit more heat, so it held on to it all night long, whereas the one that was in the landscape that was just out in the open, it was just exposed to all of the elements, and so when the cold spell came, it totally just took it out. So just knowing what's happening in your garden and just walking around multiple times a day will let you know if you have microclimates. Well, it'll let you know what your microclimates are. And the last question on that video is from Lockbar Organic, and they said, how can we order one online? You can go to peonysenvy.com, and that is their website. I'll put it in the description down below. You can just tap on the link right there and it'll take you directly to their website. And Kathleen is amazing. She's an amazing woman and she knows her stuff, and I'm very happy to have made a friend out of her. So check out Peony's Envy, and I mean, it's a good name. You will be envious of her peonies. The next video that we did was the flowers that hummingbirds actually love. And that was one that was requested by many of you guys, and I'm very happy to make that video because we have so many hummingbirds. We have them right now. They're here year round. We've got the Anna's hummingbirds year round. I can hear them chirping right now. It's funny, I can always hear them chirping. They're always in our garden. But we also leave a feeder up all winter. We don't get cold here for them to fully migrate and everything. So they usually just hang out here with us all winter long. We'll dwindle down to like maybe 3 versus the summer when we have maybe 15 of them, maybe 20 of them. It's kind of crazy around here in the summertime. The first question on that video is from Darlene, and she had said, great video. If possible, could you write the list down in your description list of things? I would add Grevillea, peaches and cream to the list. Drought tolerant, doesn't like any fertilizer, no summer water, flowers year round, a must plant to our California garden. Okay, I will from now on. I will make sure that I add those in there. And I think that we had talked about it, and Brent and I just kind of forgot to add the list. So I am sorry about that. We will go back and we will add all of the flowers to the list, and we have a couple other videos coming out talking about specific plants that we will add the list, so that way that's there, because I totally understand that. And I will say I just added my first Grevillea into the garden, so I'm very excited about that, which is a Australia native. The next question on that video is from Finley, and they had said, hi, would you share the plants did claim to attract hummingbirds that actually don't, as you stated in the beginning of the video? So the one that comes to my mind is juiced orange jessamine. It's got everything that a hummingbird should love. It's got orange flowers, which they love. It's got long tubular flowers, which hummingbirds love. And it's supposed to have a ton of blooms on it. We grew it and it bloomed. Personally, I didn't like the blooms, but my thought was, okay, you know what? If the hummingbirds love it, I'm gonna leave it. I didn't see a single hummingbird on that plant, not one. And we had it right next to our seating area, and we planted it there because I knew that we wanted it so we could constantly see the hummingbirds on it. Not a single one went to it. And it was supposed to be like a hummingbird attracting plant is what it's like marketed as. and it didn't. So I didn't like the blooms, and the hummingbirds didn't like it, so it was like 2 strikes. I was like, you're out. Not even going for a third one. So that is the main one that comes to mind. There's a couple other ones that I can talk about down the road. Off the top of my head, I don't remember exactly what they are, but that is the main one that has stuck with me because I was so disappointed because it was supposed to be such a huge one for hummingbirds. The next question on that video is from Vicky, and she had said, "Good morning. I was just remembering your front yard. Am I right you put bulbs in your lawn? Daffodils and maybe tulips? Can't wait to see it. Watch your videos every morning as soon as it drops, usually around 6 a.m. my Eastern time zone. Keep planting for the hummingbirds." Thank you. Thank you for watching. I planted 3 bulbs and I cannot for the life of me remember. I actually just finished filming a video about it, so I've got an update for you guys, and you guys will see the update of how it's looking Wednesday. You guys will see the update. And it looks really good right now. I was at first disappointed. I was like, okay, this was a bust of a project. But now it's starting to look good. So I'm very excited about it. I do have some tulips up there, and the tulips are starting to bloom, which is also exciting. So I will show you guys an update on Wednesday. And the last question on that video is from Tina, and she had said, "Love your channel, always good for my soul." Oh, I love that. Why did you take the Hot Lips Salvia out if you were wanting to add it again? Curious if you had an issue with it. We didn't have an issue with it. I just planted it in the wrong spot. It gets really, really large. It's not like your typical salvia that gets like a decent size. This one plant gets massive, and that's actually another plant that I gave proper spacing to. I planted it exact spacing that it needed from the fence. I think it's like a 5-foot shrub or something like that that it gets, or 4.5 feet. And I planted it 2.5 feet from the fence line. Maybe I planted it even further than that. It might have been planted like 3 feet from the fence. And it never even reached the fence because it wouldn't get sunlight on the back of it. And so if I were to plant it again, I would plant it right up against the fence. I would also make sure that it's planted somewhere where it's getting more sun. I planted it in an area where it got full sun, but it got 6 hours of sun, but there was a couple hours where it was like dappled sun. I guess it was planted more like a part sun area. And salvia wants full sun. So I would like to add it again to the garden. It will get planted full sun, and it will get planted closer to a fence line. I'm not gonna give that plant proper spacing. The next video that we did was "Don't make this mistake: the key to dahlia blooms," and then planting a lilac vine. And the lilac vine looks good, and my dahlias are still growing. They're growing like crazy right now. It's kind of psychotic. The first question on that video is from P. Vreeken, and they had said, "Do you have a code for Bootstrap?" I don't have a code for them, but my link is in the description of this video right here. And if you tap on my link, what that does is it tells Bootstrap that you guys are finding them through me, and it does help me out. I don't earn commission or anything like that, and I don't have a discount code for you guys, but it does help me out because they do sponsor 2 videos each month. So 2 videos a month, I talk about Bootstrap and I go into a little bit more depth about their product. So if you guys are purchasing from them and you use my link, it does help me out a ton. The next question on that video is from C Duster, and they had said, "Where did you find the vine?" That was from Green Acres in Roseville. I had to check with Brent. And beautiful, beautiful garden center. And I love shopping there, and I do really want to get back there, and I want to go pick up the white one. I think that I want to do the white one. I want to get 2 white ones, I think. I'm thinking that I want to get a white one and I want to put it in the same hole so that vine looks like it has white and purple blooms in it, and then I want to get a white one to grow up the telephone pole. But I might wait on ordering a second one, or I might get one for the telephone pole and then wait to do the front one because I want to see how the white blooms look, because sometimes white blooms, when they fade, they look brown and crispy and it's not beautiful. So I want to see how the white ones do. I might just do purple. I don't know. We'll see what happens. The next question on that video is from Susan, and she had said, "Where did the little shovel come from?" It's from Amazon. It's one of my favorite little shovels. I will put the link to it in this video down below, and it's been the best shovel, and I feel like you either love it or you hate it, and everyone who has bought it has told me that they love it after they got it. Someone recently said it's kind of like using a larger trowel, but a trowel you don't have the leverage, and where this you can be down there on the ground and you can be digging and you actually have leverage with it. I personally love the little shovel. It's probably the most used shovel on our property. The next question on that video is from Yolanda, and she had said, "Do you treat preventatively for powdery mildew or wait till it occurs? P.S. Loving these latest instructional videos. You're doing great over there." thank you. I'm so glad that you guys are actually enjoying them and appreciating them, because they are so much more work to do, but I am enjoying filming them. They take less time to film, but they take way longer to edit and put together and like do all the information beforehand. So I'm really glad that you guys are actually enjoying them. And then as far as powdery mildew, you don't spray preventatively, but you do want to keep a close eye on your dahlias. And as you start to see any issue with them, that's when you want to do your spray with them. That's when you want to spray, is the second that you see any, like, you'll see little dots of powdery mildew, and that's the second that you want to spray. So I actually have an example for you guys. So this leaf right here has powdery mildew on it. So that little white dot that's powdery mildew. And what that's from is from the shrub that's right here. And it has it 24/7. We have sprayed that thing many, many times. It's just so infected with powdery mildew that it's just not worth it anymore. So you can see all of that. That is all powdery mildew. And so you spray it with a copper side. It's just, this plant is just like constantly covered in powdery mildew, and it doesn't spread. It doesn't spread to anything else. I don't know how it doesn't spread. It stays just on that plant. And so we've kind of given up on spraying, and we're like, you know what, whatever. If you want powdery mildew, you have powdery mildew. So that is what powdery mildew looks like. And when you start to see it on one leaf, when you see just that right there, that's when you should be spraying. The next question on that video is from Heidi, and she had said, "Hi Robbie, I heard the owner of Cottage Garden of Petaluma Zone 9B say that their last frost date is April 15th in their last video. February seems early, April seems late. Maybe it's really in March." So ours is February. It's the 20th of February, but I do say I like to wait a little bit until usually about the 10th through the 15th of April, because we will get a freak hailstorm. So really, I could wait until April and call that my last frost date, because the last 5 years, religiously, between April like 5th through the 15th, sometime we're going to get a hailstorm, and it's going to drop drastically in cold temperatures, even though if you look up, if you just type in what is my last frost date and you type in our zip code, it shows that it's February 20th, which is really annoying, because I know it's not February 20th, and it's hard because right now it's like 75 degrees, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe it was the 20th. This is false spring though, it's not real, it's just fake. And I did look up for Petaluma, and theirs is after ours. So theirs is after ours. I think theirs is like late March, but I'm sure that they deal with the same thing in April, getting a freak hailstorm or something like that, that just takes things out. So you take it with a grain of salt, because anything could happen after, and anything, you could never even get one up to that point either. So it's just kind of a guideline for when things could happen. And the last question on that video is from Glenda, and she had said, "Robbie, why are you opening up with 'Hi guys, how's it going?' Isn't that Laura with Garden Answers opening line? Your content is proving, good luck." And I have something to say about this. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna say, "Hey guys, how's it going?" That is the most basic, generic opening to anything. How I greeted my clients was, "What's up, dude? How's it going?" And so I'm gonna say, like, "Hey guys, how's it going?" is so generic. And I don't feel like anybody can just own that saying. If she had opened up with something else, or like how I end my videos with, "Thanks for visiting our garden, I'll see you in the next one." If somebody copied that, that would be like, like that one's straight up copying. But "Hey guys, how's it going?" And that's how I greet my friends. So, I mean, if you guys want me to come up with a different one, I tried for a minute because I was getting some hate about using that earlier. I'm gonna say, you cannot own "Hey guys, how's it going?" That's just crazy. If you guys want me to use something else, let me know. I will use something else. I did used to, for a minute, I tried to say "good morning," and people were like, "I don't watch your videos in the morning, I watch your videos in the evening." Like, okay, so I can't say that. I'm also gonna just say that, like, I can't please everyone. But if you guys would prefer me to use something else, I will use something else. And the last video that we did was "No more mud, metal edging, gravel walkway, and new flower bed." And holy cow, it's so nice to like finally see this. Like, all of the beds are in, all of the dirt is in, and now we need to put a deck in. So that's gonna be a project. We are trying to figure out deck, patio. If we're gonna do a patio, then we have to remove the concrete pad that's there. We'll see what happens. We're gonna just wing this one. The first question on that video is from E.R. Philcox, and they had said, "Robbie, I love what you were doing. Have you considered staining your basement access black so it blends in?" I don't think we're gonna stain it black. We've talked about that in the past. Black just shows dirt. just as bad as like white does. But somebody did say, what if I did like a checkered pattern on there? And what if I did like a creamy color and like a white color almost, like two like slightly opposite colors? And I was like, oh, that would be kind of pretty. And then like, I mean, you can already see it. So what if I just make it a piece? What if I just, I guess, draw attention to it, I guess? And so I'm thinking about doing that. I thought that that might be kind of pretty because it just is, it's rough. So I am thinking about doing something with it. The next question on that video is from Debbie, and she had said, I live in East Palestine, Ohio. I had to pause your video for a moment to hear if it was our train going through or yours. How close are you to the train tracks? Do they come often, day and night? Curious. We are so close. We can see the train from our backyard. And they come all day and they come all night long. Usually at least once an hour, there's a train. During the day, it's almost every hour there's a train. At nighttime, maybe 4 or 5 trains at nighttime. So there's a lot of trains that go by. It's kind of crazy. The next question on that video is from Julie, and she had said, Robbie, can I ask why you have planted the 2 or 3 birch trees together in the small bed you fixed up today, please? Hugs from Australia. Hi. Okay, so those are planted because what I want to do is a multi-trunk birch tree. And so what you do is you take individual ones and you plant them really close, and then eventually at the base they all grow together. And so then it looks like it's coming from like one trunk. You get 3 stems from it, or you get 3 trunks from the one tree. And so that's kind of the look that I want to go for that one. And then we're going to limb it up so you can still walk under it. And so all of the like foliar growth will be up a little bit higher, and you'll just see just the bark. So they're planted there. And I'm not too worried about them. They're planted pretty shallow right now, but that's because that's all the roots that were there. There were very shallow roots, but they're bare root, so they weren't like put into like they didn't come with any soil. They just came just bare root. Got those planted in there, and they should thrive for me. They really should take off. I've bought multiple bare root trees and never had an issue with them. But yeah. 3 of them in one hole, and it'll give like a really cool effect. And you can't do it with every tree, but you can do it with some. And birch trees, they have no issue being planted close together like that. And the last question on that video is from Janice, and she had said, why not pavers instead of decking? And we looked into pavers, and we're still trying to figure out exactly what we're doing with that area. I want to do pavers. I think pavers is so much more beautiful. It's just so expensive. It was like $30,000 or something like that was the quotes that we were getting back for this patio, and it's not a very big patio. It's 15 feet.
It's like 19 by 23.
It's like 19 feet by 23 feet. It's not very large at all, and to spend $30,000 on that just kind of felt insane. And then we were looking at doing it ourselves, but that would mean that we have to remove all of the concrete that's there, and then we have to dig everything down, and if it's not going to be done like perfect, I don't want to be the one to blame for that. We're looking into like Trex, TimberTech, all of these other like faux wood decking brands. We're looking into those to see how much that would cost. But it's still going to be super expensive. And so we're kind of holding off on that. We're like, you know what, let's just get the pathways done. Let's get some flowers planted. Let's get some trees planted. Let's get everything buttoned up. And then we will move on to the deck or patio. And then we can figure out kind of where we're at like financially and what we actually want to do. I mean, we really want to do patio, paver. It just might not be in the cards for us, and that's okay. And that is it for the questions, you guys. And then as far as Janie, we are still friends. I get that question all the time. We still talk. I don't want to say daily, but it's like almost daily. And we are trying to figure out a time frame that she can come up here. I've got some furniture that she wants. She's got furniture that I want. And so we're playing swapsies on some furniture. But like our schedules right now, they've just been so insane, and nothing is lining up for us. So we are still friends. We still do talk all the time, because I see those comments coming in all the time. There's 0 issues. We're totally fine. I'm gonna go inside now because I'm slightly overwhelmed. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you all tomorrow in the next one. Bye, guys.